If you own XRP, you need to hear this. And again, my positions have been down 2%, guys. I'm on 2BIT right now, and we gotta hear this, what's going on with XRP.
2021.
We are literally seeing these same patterns on XRP charts.
Off we go. Sorry, that was
the banana zone.
2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallets hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of corrections.
So yeah, this could be even in 6 months, 8 months. It's not going to be very, very instant. But yeah, this is why I have a trade open on a long.
That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over. And everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over.
Right, so he's talking about this 35% drop, right? In case you guys didn't realize, from October to now, Bitcoin had a very similar 35% drop. In fact,
this is actually very normal in crypto. Like XRP dropping from 3.66 to 2 point whatever it is like a 60-70% drop. It's not like stocks. It's much more, uptrend and much more downtrend.
I think it actually maybe went just a little bit above 35% down. So yeah, pretty substantial amount of a correction there. And yeah, the market sentiment was very bearish at that time. People were saying, okay, well, definitionally, this means that the bull market is over. There are a couple of criticisms that people do have about Raoul Pal here. Most notably, if you do compare 2021 versus 2025 here, these two bull runs, what you're clearly going to see is, well, during this period of time, the correction happened very quickly. The explosion was very fast. This period of time, this was 6 months ago, it has been a very downwards correction. And yes, we did hit a new high.
And also 221 was when we had the most retail, right? So look at that. I'm actually above positive on a trade. If you guys want to get started on 2BIT, link in the description below for a free bonus. But it seems like 2021 is going to be way different than retail of 2025. So 2021, we had absolutely nothing, but 2025 is when we had some retail, but 2021 was all about all retail, no corporations.
On Bitcoin, but that would put us like right about here, not in the banana zone, all the way straight up to the moon. And since we hit our all-time high here in October, we got another drawdown again over here, which does look like the beginnings of a actual bear market, which a lot of bears have been saying. And so there are two ways to look at this. We did hit the all-time high following this correction, as Raoul Pal said. It wasn't as high as many people thought. Many people thought we're going to 150K to 200K Bitcoin. Many people thought we're going to at least $5 per XRP.
Yeah, so this is not going to happen yet. This might take some time. We all expected it. And look, just as I was about to close the position at 8% loss, immediately now I'm at a 5% profit, 50 cents. And I'm using 25% sizes, which is absolutely incredible, And I do think we're in upward momentum. It's just going to trade between these two ranges.
That didn't happen. But the long-term vision here for Raoul Pal, I think, is very accurate. And I will be getting more into that right after I play this clip here from Cathie Wood, where she's talking about her mega bullish case as well very recently. And so I just want to make sure you guys understand really what this all looks like here. Listen to what Cathie Wood has to say here.
Yeah, so billionaires basically giving advice about XRP is amazing. I'm just going to close this profit. We're going to open another one. So I'm going to close this in a 4.5% profit. Absolutely amazing. Great news. So we are in profit, correct?
It is our view. I think right now we're in a risk-off period generally. And if you've been watching Bitcoin, it's almost been a leader in terms of risk on, risk off. So I think that's what we're seeing. If you look at our on-chain analytics, what you will see is that we are in the middle of, we're a little bit more than halfway through a 4-year cycle. We think we're still in a bull market. And we believe that the deregulation that we're seeing here in the United States is...
So you can actually see it's trying to push higher from 2.19 to 2.2. Like exactly as we're watching this video, like Katie Wood is giving us advice.
Is going to be very important to institutions moving into this new asset class. Asset allocators have to have a point of view on this new asset class. And we think by putting it in portfolios, risk-adjusted returns for the entire portfolio will go up.
Right. So this is what Kathy Wood's saying. She thinks over the next 5 years, Bitcoin's
So yeah, she's kind of like slightly bearish. This confirms to me we need to open here a small short. Take profit, take loss, stop loss of 5. And just as I was doing like this stuff, you know, it started to crash. So you can actually see over here, it's like a red candle.
still going to go to 1.5 million, which I think is an insane price. I think even 1 million is crazy, but you know, that's her thought process. I still respect it. I still think, you know, that there is a possibility that does happen. It's not impossible. And she does.
I think it's almost like a 0% chance we see, you know, crazy numbers. That would be definitely insane, but like crazy numbers like that, I mean, just not worth it. It's just like, it's like, yeah, Bitcoin could go to 1.5 million, but will it? Probably not.
Let's mention the 4-year cycle here as well. And so this is one thing you will notice with a lot of the very strong bulls is that they do think long-term the potential is there. And so if Bitcoin is going to go to 1.5 million in 5 years and XRP can go to $100 or more in 5 years, why wouldn't you just continue to hold, right? And that's a very fair argument. If you can 100x your money or 10x your money in a very short period of time, it makes a lot of sense just to, you know, continue to hold and just wait it out. In fact, I think that that's completely rational. However, if you are able to find the dips accordingly and invest during the bear market,
That's what I'm doing right now. Like I opened this trade and it's 1%.
then that's even better. Kathy Wood here.
And I jinxed myself. Obviously, it's a good thing I have a stop loss because like the bear red candle wasn't good enough. So we are going like in some sort of a bull market cycle.
You think that a bear market is defined by a 25% drop down from its peak and that you should honestly be looking at purchases at that level like crazy. And I'm sure Kathy would agree with the purchases. So I think there's maybe more that we agree on than I admitted previously. But anyways, I did a full crypto market assessment based off of not just what Kathy Wood and Raoul Pal were saying, but also what Benjamin Cohen was saying. Because Benjamin Cohen is someone I've covered on my channel, and he's one of the more...
I kind of trust Benjamin Cohen, even though he's not super bullish on XRP.
Bearish people. He talks about the moving averages and how we've fallen below those and how those are a very accurate bear market indicator. And they're about 70 to 80% accurate, generally speaking. And he also talks a lot about the 4-year cycles as well, which we saw Kathy Wood did mention. Generally speaking, you know, after a certain period of time after the Bitcoin halving, the markets top, and then the bull market ends, and then we get into a bear market, and we're past that threshold of time for Bitcoin, and we've seen Bitcoin decline 35% from its peak, and so this is why a lot of people think we're in bearish territory. Now, I want to make something very clear. I don't think the corrections that we're seeing for this time around in the crypto market are going to be anywhere near as severe as what we saw in 21 or 2017 during.
And also 2022, that was a pretty bad year, you know. And the thing is, 2022 is when like Terra Luna Classic failed. A lot of these big exchanges went down. This is not going to happen this time because there's more money involved and there's more safety precautions.
During those corrections.
See how it's trying to form a higher low?
From the bull market to the bear market. And so I do think that this is actually probably a much better scenario for people that are long-term holders, just because you'll have a good amount of time to purchase Bitcoin and other assets at, I think, a very reasonable price. And yes, it's possible we go lower, whatever, but it's also possible that we go higher because of all the institutional adoption too. And so this is what we really need to pay attention to. XRP, Bitcoin, everything can push a lot higher. We have trillions of dollars coming in. Quantitative easing, we know, is very likely to happen in 2026. Trump is going to be...
This is the quantitative easing is what we're really pushing out for altcoins, but just there's no retail. There's absolutely no retail, and a lot of people are calling it for a bear market.
Issuing the largest tax refunds in American history.
So because of that, I'm probably going to open a flash close here. I'm feeling bullish that this is gonna go further up. But anyway, let's continue to the video.
I mean, tariff dividends are also happening. There's just so many different things that are going on that will give immense liquidity, trillions of dollars of liquidity to America and the rest of the globe, all happening in 2026, which leads me to think that this is going to be a very short bear market and then a very amazing bear market, or bull market, sorry, following the end of the bear market. So lots of crazy stuff going, right?
So if you're calling for a bull, I'm definitely considering this because we're on the 1 minute chart here, but peak 126, I mean, 2026, nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. This is the one thing I'm concerned about. A lot of people were saying Bitcoin to 100K in 2021. And look, we got completely destroyed. A lot of people are saying 300K Bitcoin. You don't know. This is the issue.
We can see previous historical examples from different cycles, 2017 to 2018. The death cross timing was early 2018. The subsequent drop was 85%. We also had a death cross timing right here, mid 2021. Pre-peak, the drop, of course, was 77%. And then in 2025, we had one, of course, on November 16th. And we're down 30% so far from peak. Right? So this is just something to keep in mind. The duration of the bear market in 2021, 2022 was the longest, about 18 months of bear market territory. It was about 12 months in 2017, 2018. And I don't think we're going to see a very long bear market. I want to be very...
I think that the bear market, like very long, people have to realize that we're talking about 8 months bear market, 1 year bear market, but not like a 3-year bear market. Just not going to happen anymore. There were so many bad scenarios past few years.
Clear, I'm leading towards 6 to 12 months. And yeah, basically it's ongoing right now according to Grok. Like we are in a bear market right now. I agree. Definitionally, a bear market is a 25% drop from peak. We're down, more
Nah, that's pretty normal for crypto though.
than 30%. So really important to keep in mind. Now, it is possible that we break above 95,000 and we keep pushing higher. I want to make sure that becomes very apparent to you guys. It's not black and white. It's not like, oh yeah, it's like guaranteed we're going to go down in price now. It's just more likely that we are than we won't. And that's an amazing thing. So stop crying in the comments about it, please, guys.
Yeah, so this is the important factor. Composite expert view, Cohen's cashation aligns with current bear signals. So yeah, Benjamin Cohen is a bit bearish right now because he did not expect this type of crash. And I personally believe him. He said, XRP is going to drop quite a bit, and I believe that.
Basically, Benjamin Cohen's analysis aligns with current bear signals, which is a higher weight in short-term assessment. Palin would remain long-term
So yeah, I'm just going to open a short trade here because I really think it's going to go positive.
bullish. And I think this is a perfectly fine mentality to have, remaining long-term bullish, holding long-term, accumulating on the dips and just, waiting it out for all this liquidity to come in 20.
Exactly. No one knows. They have been wrong for the past 5 years. Exactly. We don't know what's going to happen in 2026, but if anyone's saying here, oh, we're hitting a bear market, we're not hitting a bear market, don't believe them. It's just absolutely crazy because a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to make 300K next year with Bitcoin, and suddenly they get shocked when it drops down to 20K. This is the issue. Nobody knows, or they would be all opening short. So I feel like a lot of these billionaires, they can predict that we're going up and then suddenly we're right, but it's not like they know that we're going up and then people are suddenly angry. So yeah, they're just going off past data basically.
2026. I mean, it's a blessing that we have all of these opportunities and these pretty much for sure things that will eventually come out. This is a PvP landscape, guys. I want to make that very clear. You're fighting against everyone else and their current mentality on bear versus bull. These panic sellers, when you diamond head, when other people panic sell, that's where you actually make the money. When everyone is shaking out of the markets and the institutions see the opportunity to send this thing to the stratosphere, that's where the money is made, right? My average entry for XRP during the last bear market was between 30 to 50 cents on average. That's where I was making the most of my purchases, okay?
Yeah, 30 to 50 cents. Would anyone expect it to go to $3.5? I don't think so. So you can actually see that it's going very sideways right now. It's something I'll keep you guys updated. If you want, guys, also check out 2Bit, link in the description below for a free bonus. But let's get on to the next video. The sleeping giant about to overtake ETH. So let's talk about today how you can actually trade XRP on perpetuals. So simply sign up with 2bit using the link in the description below. If you get over 1 million in perpetuals, you do get a bonus. And this is the important factor. 1 million trading volume gives you 90 XRP. So this is the real important factor, guys. Go to futures over here, USDT and perpetuals. Scroll down to XRP USDT after you sign in. But there's even a simpler way. So what you can do is light perpetuals. These are even easier for XRP and buying USDT. So if you want to do like perpetuals in general on how to buy and sell or long, if you think XRP is going to go up, well, we're going to teach you everything today. So this is the screen you're going to be shown. It should be without these examples and without, the cloud. So don't be too worried if it shows you like that, because personally, I don't, it's not that terrible as you think. And you could see here open orders, order history. You can actually close a few here. You can close the open orders. You can order stop loss positions. You can see here coin info. There's going to be a lot of things, right? But what 2bit did, and what I like that it did, is you have light perpetuals, basically minimalist trading method, ideal for beginners. And then you have open long and open short. Now, open long is going to mean that basically you predict XRP to go up, either in the near term, either in the long term. This is the most important factor. And shorts, when you want to open a short, and always you can do cross here, right? So all cross positions use the same margin, share the same asset cross margin balance. Event of liquidation, your asset's full margin balance along with any remaining open positions under asset may be forfeited. As long as you aren't trading as too much, you shouldn't worry too much about this. So usually people do isolated, but again, this is the stuff for later if you're using it more. And right now we have open short. So if you think that XRP is going to go down, personally, I think it's going to go up. You can actually have a free voucher here upon logging in. So there's $2 over here. And you can go ahead and say, okay, I want to do, once you add the balance from your spot wallet or deposit, again, if you deposit $100, you get some money back. So just transfer here from spot account, either your USDT to USDT M futures. You can do like $20 and then you have your own balance showing up here. So what you do next is you choose leverage. Usually with smaller positions, I would always keep up to 25% leverage max. If you do 125%, yes, you have very big trades, but as soon as you get a small upswing, it's going to be a big problem. So let's just try this with 100 leverage. This is how you get liquidated because, leverage is basically you borrowing money and it's not fun. And you got to take stop loss. The reason why people don't take stop loss is they wake up and they lose everything. You always want to take like a 10%, 5% stop loss. 5% is a bit safer. The leverage here is going to be, I really recommend it for it to be 15 or 10. Because like, even if you have a small amount, this means like some exchanges offer 100% because it's much, much easier to lose this money. Like it just needs a small dip and you can lose everything, right? So you're just risking $2 here, but it would be like you had a $100 trade. And then after you set up a take profit and stop loss, you click open long. Now let's check open orders and our position got filled. And now this is going to show you what exactly is happening here. Is you have a position profit and loss, open orders. As we can see, open orders available. So what happened with the 50x leverage is we borrowed $100 of USDT to bet on the crypto. But now, as you can see, obviously it went down just as a test, which is a big problem, right? We are going way, way down further, but we're waiting for an uptrend here. So my prediction is that XRP is slowly moving towards an uptrend. It has a bad market today on the weekend. You can see over here on the 1 minute chart. But over the long term, I really think there's going to be another small rally. Not a huge one, but I do think we're at least trying to push for 2.19. So I'm really, really excited for what that happens. So again, here you have, if you make enough trades, you can get up to 2,500 XRP. And then, as you can see over here, because I have a 100 USDT trade open, you can wait and see what's the entry price. Now, here we're in profit. It shows you if you're in profit, how much money you made, how much is the percentage. These are going to be the open orders, order history, what you did in the past, what type of trades. The reason why I really like it is because it is a very simple thing to follow. So here you see that I actually had to open, I had to pay 3 cents to open the position. And now because I'm 1% in profit, so it would automatically close after I'm 10% in profit, right? But now because I'm 1% in profit, you have two different options. Close, which would just close the order instantly, or you have a flash close. So flash close would just open another order, but exactly the opposite. So if I'm doing a long now, it would just open a short. This is actually very good for traders because if they are scalping, if they're trading minute by minute, this basically means that they can open it very fast and close it very fast and make profit from that. Or if they're seeing, okay, now we're going up in the next 5 minutes, they would literally open this in that scenario. So let me see if I get at least to 1%, and I'll show you how exactly it works here. Because I'm very big leverage, it's going up and down very fast. So let us close this. Let us close this. I like to close this by the market. Estimated profit of 1%. We go to order history, and you can actually see here, we are in a realized profit of 1%, but there was obviously a fee of USDT because this was just a test. But this gives you a pretty clear idea of what's going on right now in the crypto market. So this is a very weird candle. Sometimes you can even ask ChatGPT. So let's check over here. Bam. Let's see here what it thinks about this trade. All right. Is it going to be in profit or is it going to crash? On the chart, looks short-term bullish, but only on a smaller time frame. And you can immediately see as it said it went up. So we're going to do a 100x leverage for a smaller time frame, right? So look how it goes up exactly as it said this. So price above the cloud, above the red Kijun line, close to the blue Tenkan line. So on the small, shorter time frame, it's actually long and bullish. So $2, that's how much we have. We're going to open it with a trial funds. We're going to try it again. And yeah, obviously, it's like I opened a $200 position. And look how I'm up now, like 1%, down 1%. This is the good factor about these trades when you're doing leverage. The issue is you can get liquidated very fast if you're not careful. So you got to be extremely careful and also click stop loss and take profit. This is what I like. So yeah, that's how you buy XRP. So let us close this position now. Actually, I'm going to keep it open. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This time we're going to be checking the success of the XRP trading bot. So I did a neutral asset and we have to ask what exactly is happening with a trading bot. And if you check over here, it absolutely didn't do anything. So we might have done something wrong. I do have like candlesticks over here sharing. It doesn't really explain why it's not working, but usually because these trading bots are made for longs, you can see none of them were made for short. So this is an important factor here. The recommended strategies for neutral were basically removed and none of the positions would work except for XRP. So what if we just create our own bot? This is something you can do. So I could just stop this bot, right? The system will revoke all your pending orders. This is because, for a simple reason, a lot of these trading bots cannot like buy in sidelines. Because if the price is moving a lot, that's when the trading bot works. But if the price is not moving at all, this is a big problem, right? So definitely consider that. So we're going to be picking either longing or shorting XRP. This is something you should consider. So you could also use a recommended strategy right now, which I do think could work if XRP goes up. Potentially, I think it could go to 2.58. So I'm going to long this. But the issue is you have to invest an 88% margin. And again, this is something that a lot of guys haven't been talking about, how some of these XRP bots, they could get more expensive side because you're doing a lot of orders. But I am definitely really excited on what happens next here. So let us just check right now where we are with Crypto XRP bot, which basically did nothing. So if you don't know, what they do is they basically make a buy order for you. That's correct. So a very big factor that you guys want to know is there has been a huge problem with the bots during the bear market. So they will just go up and down during these markets, but if not, they're gonna just drop all the way back. So this is where they went up, as you can see over here. So look at this. Right here, it's literally between 296 and 220. So this is the important factor that a lot of people aren't considering, is that if you want to make your own bot, this is something we will learn. Go to neutral over here. Neutral is probably going to be buying during these prices. So the lowest price, I think, is 1.87 personally, I think, for the XRP bot. And the highest price that, you know, we could buy is 2.58. And then we can buy different type of grids. You can buy, the more grids you buy, the more risky it is. But the more grids you have, the more expensive it's going to be. So profit per grid is 5.79 to 7.56. So as you can see over here, the minimum to invest in this grid bot is actually about, what, $29. So that's something I will open. So you can see here, I'll be liquidated if the price of long is 0.57 and liquidated short is 3.36. And profit per grid should be 5%. So yeah, based on my theory, because I do think it's not going to go below 1.88, but I do think it's going to stop at about 2.6. This is a pretty fair price point. So we could try with about $40 here. I know $40 is a lot, but the reason why it's more important is the more money you give it, so basically it's going to be a bit more leverage, the more it's going to have like a chance to succeed. And you also have advanced settings here, trigger price and maximum price and minimum price. So for example, if it makes like $10, you got to close it, right? So let us just open this trading bot right now. I'd rather give it a bit smaller amount than a bigger one just to test it out. And creating a neutral strategy. Grid mode should be arithmetic. So the difference between arithmetic, we could actually ask ChatGPT and geometric. So the best thing is, like, you could have a futures grid and just open this one and ask here, what's arithmetic or geometric trading bot XRP, and is my trading bot right? So sometimes you gotta ask them correctly on where you should go from here, because otherwise you could get completely wiped. So be very careful about that, guys, because if you mess up the trading bot, it can lose you the entire position. It's absolutely no joke. So this is something to consider. Okay, I could talk through the bot settings and revisit potential factors like risk. So one important factor. So there are just two ways to space the grid lines between your lowest and highest price. Equals price distance between each level. Example, range 1 to 3 with 5 grids is $1, $1.5, $2, 2.53. Good when you care about absolute moves. So for example, if it hits a certain price point. Geometric is equal percentage distance between each level. So this could be like, you know, a bit different in that sense. Lower levels are closer together, upper levels are spread out more. Better when you think in percent moves, so 5, 7, 10%. For crypto, which moves in terms, geometric usually makes more sense over a wide range. Arithmetic is fine for tight, smaller range. So is your bot right? Margin invested, total notion is 160 with leverage. You're telling the bot, I think the I think the XRP will mostly trade between 1.87 and 2.58, and this is the price ranges we have made. 1.87, and as you guys told you guys, 2.58 was the big XRP sale. Actually, yeah, around this range, could be even a bit lower, 2.6, something like that, right? 2.6 is gonna be perfect. It will long near the bottom, short near the top, and try to farm volatility. Your liquidation prices are outside the grid. And so XRP has to make a huge move to liquidate at one side. But in crypto, it can happen over months or during big news. But here's a quick checklist. You understand it works only if XRP price ranges are in 187 to 2.58, which are my support levels for XRP. You know whether you want equal prices or equal steps. If you're expecting a breakup up or down, a neutral grid is a wrong tool. So that's when you do a short. So should I take it with arithmetic? And then, you know, these are the two differences. Arithmetic is like a spread. And then we also have basically asking it over here, equal distance, multiplicative. So these are awesome. And if you guys didn't know, you could also use the link in the description below for a free bonus. So the range is tight. You expect a small chop around the middle. You don't care about differences, just simple every 0.2% USDT. If your ideas, it will just wiggle around 2.2. I was simple, evenly spaced. Arithmetic fits best. So I'm guessing arithmetic is best overall, right? If it's not too wide of a range, but does it really matter? The real risk is leverage future grid itself, range plus liquidation. Either whether you pick arithmetic or geometric. Tell me the difference if I pick $50 with arithmetic or geometric. And then we're going to do a price analysis, because I already told you guys the price analysis for XRP right now is that I don't think we're going below 187. And if I do, I really apologize, because this is the last chance for XRP to basically go to these prices. It's been good to us. It's been nice. It's been doing fine. So I'll use a range from 187. And we can wait for it to actually finish up here. All right, so the $50 doesn't change, only where and how often it gets used. So equal price gaps between levels. Bots will place orders at those fixed around 0.80% USDT apart. Your $50 spread is actually, in price terms, it treats from moves as same as 220 to 240. So the other one is equal gaps in terms of percentages. So it's basically the same. It's smoother, very simple ladder, good for tight ranges. Geometric is slightly more aggressive, buying, selling around the lower part of the range. Better if you think on percentages. So the difference is not huge, but it's more about style. One is safe and the other is dangerous. The dangerous part is still leveraged futures grid itself, not spacing formula which you choose. So it's not that important which one you choose, right? And we can try with $30 over here, create a strategy. The reason, usually we'll want stop loss. You want to do a stop loss when it's going to lose like $15. So if it goes to 185, if XRP goes to 1.5, we're gonna full send it, right? It's gonna be terrible, absolutely terrible. So we might just as well close it, not to lose our full bot, right? But I don't think we'll get liquidated anyway, because if XRP goes to 50 cents, forget about this bot. But then there's also like, it would be nice to just go around these ranges. But if XRP goes to $3 or $1.5, if it hits like 3.1, it's completely over. Like, that's where I think like stop losses are very important. So now we have our own bot that's going to be trading in between these levels, and I'll come back tomorrow to check what it does. So smash that like button, guys. So yeah, that's the whole point. Let us talk about 2Bit as well. So if you guys want to join 2Bit, this is also the option here. Wait, give me a second. LAN stream.